So I was speaking to you earlier, and we was chopping it up. Like you was talking about, you wanted to get into a bunch of things, but like you took me aback when you said weed stock market, like cannabis, like
yeah, that's one of the
cannabis stock market.
You know, that's one of the things like I got in the works. That's one of the things I'm building in my blueprint. Looking at the cannabis industry as a stock market, because it is a whole industry. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And cannabis is a commodity. So
right.
I don't see why there's no reason for that type of commodity not to have its own stock exchange, and every other commodity got a stock exchange.
Okay. So just like you said, it's a industry.
Right.
Gotta be job opportunities other than growing and like tending to the bud are there for people that want to get into the industry that probably don't want to be growers, but want to profit off of it.
Right. There's plenty of opportunities. There's the processing opportunities with people who are technically savvy. Whether they go through like certain trades, if they got plumber, HVAC, they got these transferable skills. They could always enter the cannabis industry.
Right, because they building these big ass facilities.
Greenhouses and shit.
Yeah, you're gonna need just like how the janitors just as important as the CEO of the company. Everybody gotta play their part.
Same way the bank got the security guard, the dispensary needs a security guard. So,
okay.
You got your security license, you could be a cannabis security guard. You feel me? And any facet of any type of business can enter the cannabis industry. Attorney, accountant, a graphic designer.
So y'all gonna have HR and all of that.
All of that, it's businesses. So
right.
Everything got to make sure it's run accordingly and run properly with systems.
So would you open your own dispensary?
Honestly, I wouldn't open my own dispensary because in my mind that's retail, and from my personal experience, that's all I've really been doing with retail. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Just getting it off. So I don't really see no difference. I don't see no difference between a dispensary and me.
Losing money, basically.
Yeah.
Paying
rent, living the experience that I did my whole life. Like I'm good off of that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my clothing line. A couple people like, you should get a storefront. It's like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could just get it from me personally, and I got an online store. Like,
right.
I get a storefront, I'm gonna be paying $2,000.
That's another bill.
Yeah,
you don't want that.
And it's like,
so that's interesting.
And it's just that hustler mindset. Like, why am I gonna do the way? Why am I gonna do what everybody's trending on?
I'm
always 2 steps ahead.
So how do you feel about smoke shops?
The smoke shops, it's a funny game because it's like New York, they legalized weed so long ago. We got legal like 2 years ago, but the state really wasn't doing much, so it was like free game, that gray area. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's part of the business, it's part of the way of life. Mm-hmm. But I don't see people should be going to smoke shops. You don't know what the weed is, the weed not getting tested properly. It's not packaged properly, certain ways and Mylar bags and things of that nature that the package is in is not really optimally healthy for everybody,
Right.
The package.
Yeah, speaking of packaging, you get a fire Mylar bag and then it got some bullshit in it.
Exactly, and even like with the Mylar bags, those gonna start creating a little bit of molds because you got the humidity and the moisture, so it's like good bud, high quality, top cut, always in glass jars,
Okay, yeah, definitely something to take note of.
Yeah, right. For sure. So, like being that you're in this business, just tell us your favorite part about the business. Like, what's your favorite? What do you enjoy most about this business?
My favorite part is really building up this community. Honestly, like building up the cannabis community, bringing people together, making sure everybody getting real opportunities. This plan took away so many opportunities from so many communities. It's like that shit is fire to just reverse the cycle and reverse the process and give people opportunities off of the same vehicle that took that away.
Fire.
A lot of people went to jail for it.
Right, people went to jail, people died from it, families got ripped apart, so it's a crazy thing.
People die? What you mean people get in that? What you mean?
But people die from it. People die from all of the drug trades and all of that.
Okay, gotcha.
Is it true if you grow good tomatoes, you can grow good weed?
Yeah, I believe so because it's basically the same process, it's the same nutrients that's needed around the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. I really get into the details of the nutrients and the microbes that you need. And so when you look at it, the tomato is the closest plant or vegetation that's close to growing cannabis,
So if we wanted you to mentor us and teaching us how to grow, would you be able to do that? Would you be able to teach us?
Of course. By the time y'all done with me, y'all learn how to grow from seed to shelf.
I heard that, man. Sturdy Way Farms.
Sturdy Way Farms on the lookout.
Be on the lookout.
So have you done any like seminars? I see like you like heavily in the city.
Yeah, so
giving speeches, passing out flyers.
Yeah, so it's fire with this new job opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to really like directly build with the community. So I'm doing a lot of the seminars in certain colleges like Lehman College, CUNY on the concourse. There's Medgar Evans that we working with. Even we about to start working with WCC soon, and even dealing with a lot of nonprofits or different organizations that we just teaching regular people how to go about dealing with the cannabis.
Right. CWI, is that backed by Cornell, or what do Cornell got to do with that?
So Cornell is the legal education facet of it. There's two entities with CWI. You got the Cornell side and then you got the workforce development side. I'm on the workforce development side.
Okay. So you really networking and
right, and really building up that network,
educating and
exactly,
basically growing at the same time as you learning.
Like you
right,
because it seems like it's a lot of different like parts of the business, and it seems like it's like a educational part, like the business part, and then you got the growing. Like I'm pretty sure there's certain people who just deal with the educational part and the business part, but not the growing part.
Exactly.
It seems like you're doing it
I'm
all.
vertically integrated, and that just comes from my lineage and my background. I got a whole family of entrepreneurs, so I'm always thinking self-made, self-sustainability. So I need to make sure I got all facets of the supply chain.
Okay. What's this card thing that people been talking about? Give us the breakdown on that.
CARD is conditional adult use recreational dispensary. That was an opportunity for people who were properly incarcerated to have an opportunity to be able to be prioritized on getting licenses. So it's a conditional license.
Okay. Right. So it gives people that was incarcerated.
Yeah, that prioritization on the list to get the licenses. But I want y'all to understand too, that's just conditional. So that's not meaning like that license is going to be permanent.
Yeah,
right.
Like a conditional license.
Yeah, conditional license, the first round, pilot test and see how things is going.
Okay.
So like, if you could do one thing like amongst your community and amongst like other like urban communities, like if you could like hold the course, like what would be the main things that you would teach about the cannabis business?
If I could teach one thing,
vocal points.
Yeah.
It don't gotta be. It could be 3 things.
Yeah, like what is one thing or 3 things that like
number one
people don't really know until like they hear it from you, like.
Okay, so the number one thing would really be the soil, like soil science. Teaching everybody about the foundation of the ground and the soil itself, because with that they could do anything with that. That ain't something that is just gonna stick with weed or cannabis. You could do that for vegetables. You could do that for fruit. Even with construction, you doing
that's a fact.
You doing excavations. Foundation is key for everything. So learning how to operate with the ground, that's number one. Number 2, I would go from sourcing different type of strains. Understanding the different variations of strains, what's valuable, what's not. And then 3, really getting down to the law literacy. Understanding how to operate within the law and what's legal and what's not.
That's key right there.
Yeah, for sure. And you will also want to understand the jargon, like cannabis business, because
right.
I feel like in every field there's like always like a different type of jargon, and if you don't understand what's going on and what's being said or the definitions, you won't understand it all. So
right.
I feel like jargon, like understanding like the cannabis jargon would be key.
Yeah, making sure like the terminology, because it's really like the language barrier that got us on the back end of this cannabis industry. We talking about people saying, oh, they manufacturing cannabis and that just means you breaking down bud.
Right.
It's like they start, overcomplicating the words and the processes.
Got put in layman's terms.
Exactly. Got put in layman's terms. Where we come from is not. We don't gotta overcomplicate things. We simplify things. We go through a simple thought process like A to B. So we ain't really trying to deal with all of that extra shit. So for me, I'm just bringing that down to layman terms, making sure that any average person gonna understand that a trichome is just simply, the hairs on the plant, the hairs on the flower. You feel me? But you understand, like,
Yeah, I ain't know. From I heard trichome, I'm thinking about a camera with 3 heads.
Right.
Yeah. I done had to break down meanings to the bros a couple of times.
I can't probably. Right. He know what he know. Like if I want to know anything about cannabis, I call bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
You high right now, bro?
Yeah, I'm a little. Gotta get, gotta get into my.
I'm saying
You came in here like cool runnings and all that.
Nah.
You didn't know what a trichome was, though.
Well, before you said that,
Yeah.
I done broke down what a trichome is to you and Ratchet before, bro. I mean, shout out to the bro.
Shout out to that.
All right, so I just want to backtrack real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The soil.
Right.
How can you tell good soil from bad soil?
So good soil gonna have living microbes. You're gonna have different type of healthy bugs or different type of
Healthy bugs. What's
healthy
healthy
bugs? Bugs that's taking care of the soil, that's breaking down, bacteria or breaking down food and turning that into mycelium or breaking that down to compost and things of that nature.
So is a ladybug a healthy?
Yeah, actually.
What?
Yeah.
You talking
What
about
about a roach?
mycelium, bro? What's mycelium?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just such a nerd at it. That shit just go over my head.
What's
I'm
that
saying
cartoon with the organs and shit?
I don't know, bro.
But it's definitely not mycelium, you think?
Nah, nigga name sound like mycelium or some shit.
Only scientific. Sure, I remember was Bill Nye, the science guy.
Nah, this was like one of them shits. They was like organs and shit. Organism.
Went on Cartoon Network.
I don't know what network that shit was on, bro.
I-
We'll find that shit in the archives.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, Osmosis Jones. Yeah, he was like, remember that shit, bro? Like,
Yeah. So as far as like buying land to grow, cannabis on, is that hard? Like, is that a
Nah, it really depend on what you trying to grow and like how you trying to grow it. If you trying to do an indoor grow, you're gonna have to get a facility and make sure that there's things already on the property. If your money's good, you build up a facility from scratch, or you could just lease some land out. There's a lot of land out there. Land ain't really hard to get. You get a plot of land, you get yourself situated, you excavate it, you'll be alright.
Oh yeah.
Word.
Lease land. I ain't never even do that. That's fine.
so everything got to be sturdy, basically. Is what
Everything
you're
gotta be
saying.
sturdy from under the ground up.
So what you gotta do? Like stick like a thermometer in there to test.
Yeah, they gotta
stuff
test
like
the
that?
soil and
You
all
gotta
that.
test the soil.
Facts.
Making sure that the soil is good. Making sure there ain't no chemicals, because the way a lot of these farmers, in the industry, the FDA, whatever they prescribing to the farmers to use, they got all of these pesticides in it.
Mm-hmm.
You see all of them chemicals, and the chemicals going into the ground. So sometimes the ground might not be able to use. They might have too much chemicals in it. So you got to make sure like all of that is not in it.
Copy. So you wouldn't want to start your own strain?
Yeah, I thought about it. I've definitely been pheno hunting, seeing what's going on.
What would you name it?
What would I name it? Damn, I don't know. I got a couple
You gotta think of
names.
that,
Yeah, I gotta think of that.
I think you should, man. I will look forward to that.
Word, I appreciate that. We're gonna have something in the works coming up soon.
Facts.
Sure.